This question is a tough question. You look like a tough lady with your leather jacket. So this one comes from Steve Cambian from Truth Seekers. On your website, there's a picture of a genuine alien taken to the moon, and the image that you used was from a 2005 video game called Area 51. Cambian, so Steve Cambian is referring to himself in the third person. Cambian from Truth Seekers emailed you as the proof that what you're selling was from a video game, and then you refused to change. So, okay, so whatever. There's some accusations there. Do you mind explaining to the audience what that picture is about, its provenance, and perhaps why you would not take it down if someone showed you it was video game art?
What are you talking about?
Okay, I can show the image. I don't have it printed here, but I can show the audience the image at some point. So you don't know what is being referred to here with the video game cover art of Area 51 and that being used as a genuine image on your website, apparently.
I have no idea what you're talking about. Kurt, I don't know why you are reducing the interview to this kind of petty stuff at the end. I really don't. I have been working as a professional journalist since 1968. I started at KNBC television. I went to ABC in Boston. I was hired to be director of special projects at the CBS station in Denver. I have corrected 1 million scripts. I have no idea, 40, 50 years, how many scripts. Information that is just elementary to being a professional journalist. And I have a tremendous number of awards that are even in boxes, 35, 40 professional awards as a journalist. Why you would end up with some kind of a stupid question like this is beyond me. It's hostile, Kurt. Why would you do this? It's meaningless. I mean, why are you playing, now we're going to trap Linda in some... This is ridiculous.
I'm asking some of the most upvoted questions. So there's the sentiment in the community that you're a great investigative reporter, especially your early work, and that toward the end of the career, perhaps not as much due diligence in vetting sources. This is just a perception. So that's why people are upvoting it.
By whom? That's not my relationship with the world.
I'm just telling you, this is what many people have upvoted, so I'm asking the questions that people are interested in knowing the answer to.
You're accusing me of being some gullible 2-year-old, and I have just celebrated my 80th revolution around the sun. I have produced literally a few thousand reports at earthfiles.com, many, many, many documentaries for television broadcast. There is something about this, Kurt, that just feels so unprofessional, so unfair. I am doing hard investigation every day and every week of my life on a variety of topics.
I ask even Luis Elizondo, I ask many people similar questions about NDAs and is this piece of evidence proof? Is it proof? Do you have a public record of so-and-so? It's not as if this is such a strange question.
You just said it's because you have a reputation essentially of being gullible. I argue with that from the face of how much I have produced. That is between my books, my documentaries, the 3,000 Earth Files reports, and on, the 15 years of the work I've done with ancient aliens. It's the opposite. I'm come to all the time because people say you do the best, most credible journalism in the field. That's what I hear.
Okay, well, I'm glad that you hear that. It's great. It's great to hear that. I hope I'm not trying to be accusatory. I'm simply trying to ask the questions that many people are wondering, and that for whatever reason other people aren't asking. So please, I don't mean to offend you.
Many people are asking what?
Okay, so I'm just... Every time I read you a question, it's either taken from Twitter or the live chat or from Reddit or from some other places where there are likes and upvotes and people's comments on comments. And so I'm looking at, okay, what are the questions that people want to know the answer to most? And I'm simply asking them. Is that not fair?
Nothing about the last 20 minutes have been fair.
Well, all right. Okay. Well, we'll just end this, and I apologize that you felt like it was hostile. That was not my intent.
It has this out. I'm a professional producer, writer, director, editor. I have a tremendous number of awards. From my point of view, I know how hard I work for facts, and that I take on subjects that some people won't touch because they're afraid. That's my answer.
Thank you, Linda. Thank you so much for coming on. I appreciate it.
Well, greetings and salutations, friends, and welcome back to Truth Seekers. What you've just witnessed is what happened when I caught well-known UFO researcher, author, and professional journalist Linda Moulton Howe using a fake CGI-created alien photo that actually came from a 2005 video game cover. On her website and in her so-called special reports, she showed this photo, which I instantly recognized because I had played this game. Maybe it was on PlayStation 1 or 2. I don't recall exactly what console it was on, but it was a great game. It was a shoot 'em up where you ran around Area 51 and you shot at aliens and you killed those evil aliens. I couldn't believe when I first saw that she was using this picture, and she titled it, quote, "a genuine gray alien photo taken on the moon," unquote. So I contacted her, and it's interesting. Every time I contact her, Linda Moulton Howe accuses me of being very hostile, just as she accused Kurt from Theories of Everything, who was nice enough to ask the question publicly to her, the first person that ever got to ask her publicly, why did you use a picture from a video game cover and put it behind a paywall and sell it to people? She called him hostile as well. So tonight, I'm going to try my very best to be as least hostile as possible. Because what has happened is, and by the way, after I contacted her, she kept right on selling this Area 51 photo as a photo of an alien. She simply changed the title of it from, quote, "genuine gray alien photo taken on the moon," unquote, to a new description, quote, "alleged gray alien taken on the moon, picture taken on the moon," unquote. So she went right on selling it. She doubled down and suggested that perhaps the Men in Black, or, the secret cabal government who are covering up UFOs gave that to the video game producers. But I have since been in contact with the person that actually created this artwork, and he says nobody contacted me. This was my job, creating artwork for the video game company I was employed by. So what we have is Linda Moulton Howe, who claims right here that she's completely and totally offended that anyone would suggest that she is gullible or that she doesn't do great professional investigative work. Friends, it takes 2 minutes to do a reverse Google image search. Actually, it takes 10 seconds. And there are specific sites available that you could do that. She could have found out in 5 seconds that this photo was from a video game. She either did so and knew it was from a video game and sold it anyway, or she was too lazy to do the actual work on her story. And in that story, as in many of her stories, she's using an anonymous source that she claims is a secret government insider. But the problem with her sources is that they are largely always anonymous, and they only contact Linda Moulton Howe. No other researcher gets to talk to them, verify their story, or anything. It is my personal belief and speculation that her sources don't exist, that she makes them up. She finds things and pretends that somebody sent them to her. And I would personally challenge Linda Moulton Howe, give me the phone number of this guy who sent you this photo claiming that he took it on the moon. Let me interview him and verify that he indeed gave you this photo and that you didn't just find this photo and concoct this whole story. And again, I freely admit it's my opinion and speculation that she does not have real sources. She makes them up to sell garbage stories to gullible people. And, you know, I feel bad for some of those people because they so desperately want to believe in the myth, in the legends here. But I believe that Linda is doing actual harm to people by selling these garbage fake stories with her garbage anonymous sources and this level of garbage so-called evidence. This is her evidence. This is the best that she has, right? It's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous that she gets away with this. And by the way, I have estimated through her YouTube earnings, I don't know how many people signed up to get behind her paywall to see this genuine, so-called genuine gray alien photo taken on the moon. I don't know how much she made through her paywall or her Patreon or anything else, but we can estimate that Linda Moulton Howe selling this fake photo as a real photo of an alien in stories on YouTube that she recounted from her anonymous source, she made thousands of dollars, thousands and thousands of dollars she made peddling this garbage. Now, you would think that Linda Moulton Howe would have learned her lesson, especially from, I suppose, the question that she got asked publicly. And that had to be humiliating for her. And I'm human. So I understand that may have been humiliating for her to have to face the music. But did you notice? She claimed she knew nothing about it. Friends, I have the emails between us proving that she got the photo from me and then argued with me about why it wasn't from a video game. I had to send her the artist's contact information who actually created that image. And she still didn't take it off of her website. She still did not print any sort of retraction or apologize for deceiving her audience, deceiving the public, and deceiving YouTube. By the way, Miss Linda Moulton Howe, I'm not sure if you're aware of it, but there is something called YouTube terms of service. And doing what you did with that fake photo is a violation of those terms of service. You could lose your entire YouTube channel. And that's a whole nother issue, because somebody needs to explain to me how this woman can do this garbage level of work, this garbage level of vetting sources, this garbage level of providing evidence, and have 215,000 subscribers. But I've said it before, I'm going to say it again. When you have no morals and you're willing to sell garbage and fake information to stupid people, you can have a huge following. It's sad, but it's true. We have handicaps here. Like, I always joke that I'm expected to run a marathon along with these people with 2 broken legs. I can't lie to my audience. I can't shovel fake pictures at my audience and pretend they're real. I can't lie and say that somebody else sent me a fake photo and make up a fake story. And again, this is all my opinion that she makes up these stories. Nobody gets to talk to her sources but her. And again, I'm challenging her, not only for that source, show me the source, print his name, telephone number, information, email me at truthseekershow@gmail.com. We'll have him on the show and we'll verify whether he, number one, exists, and number two, sent you that photo that you made thousands of dollars with that we all now know came from a video game cover. Does that source really exist? And don't even attempt, Miss Howe, to hide behind journalistic integrity. When you get caught doing something like that, you got to come clean. Print the source, tweet it out, email it to me publicly on your YouTube, name the source and his contact information so that me and other researchers can verify that you're not lying when you say somebody else sent you that photo and told you those stories about the fake moon mission he was on. And by the way, later she did print a retraction of sorts, claiming that her source was unreliable and dishonest about that story. But by then, she had already made thousands of dollars off of that fake story, and she didn't give any of it back to her subscribers. She didn't give any of it back to the people signing up for her Earth Files website just to see the picture. And by the way, that's also, in my opinion, a form of consumer fraud. She's teasing this picture saying, if you want to see this picture of a genuine gray alien taken on the moon, sign up for my website for $3 or $5 a month or whatever it is, and you can see this genuine gray alien picture taken on the moon. It's completely and totally deceptive. And if she's going to claim that she didn't know, or she's great at claiming that she's such a great investigative journalist. Let me tell you something, Linda. Great investigative journalists don't make amateur hour mistakes like this. This is clown shoes. This is terrible. I would expect better work from a high school journalism, somebody that's on a high school newspaper could have done the research to find out where that photo actually came from. You didn't bother to do it. So don't tell everybody about your awards and what a great researcher you are. You're not a great researcher, and that's evidenced by that story being completely and totally fake, made up garbage, in my opinion. Now, we're on to why we're here tonight. We're here tonight because, and let me make sure I make this point. Making an amateur hour rookie stupid mistake like that once, Linda Moulton Howe, is a mistake. And you should have just owned up to it, accepted responsibility for essentially stealing money from people to see a picture off of a video game cover that you claimed was a genuine picture of an alien. You should have just owned up to it, but you didn't. You doubled down saying the Men in Black. Listen, when you get caught doing the Cosmic Con shuffle, and we've talked about it before, when you get really caught dead to rights faking a story, the only option you have left is to pull out the Men in Black card and say that the Men in Black must have got involved and the Men in Black must have, given that picture that was real to an artist of a video game company so he could slip it in and discredit Linda Moulton Howe years later while she was using the picture. It was like a decade ago before she used this picture that picture was on a video game cover. So apparently, not only did the Men in Black get involved, but they're time travelers. They traveled back in time and gave that picture to a video game company to discredit her in present day. It's absolutely ridiculous. But the major point that I want to make here tonight is that getting caught doing something like this once is a mistake. Once is a mistake. Doing it twice, if you do something dirty and disgusting and slimy and underhanded and deceptive like this twice, it's a pattern. It shows a pattern of deception and lies used to generate clicks and views and money. And that, using deceptive practices to generate clicks and views on your videos, is against YouTube terms of service. And you could lose your entire channel for doing that. Now, she can hide and say, oh, I didn't know the picture was fake. You've done it twice now, because tonight we've got some information about her latest hoax. And I'm calling it a hoax. It is a hoax. And in this hoax, listen, again, I'm going to say this is my opinion and speculation. I think I have seen these people like Linda Moulton Howe, David Wilcock, Corey Good, and others. They have patterns. And when they figure out something works to generate a lot of money, they do it again. They do it again. You can see this with David Wilcock running the, multiple GoFundMes, PayPal donation scams. You know, you create a need, you tell everybody in the community you got to donate. In one such version of that, David Wilcock generated $60,000 for Pete Peterson. And in the Emery Smith version of that, which was a PayPal donation scam, they generated $50,000. So you see, these people figure out if something deceptive that they're doing is working to generate those UFO dollars, they do it again. And in my opinion, Linda Moulton Howe learned nothing from being called out and caught this first time with this video game cover from 2005. She learned nothing, except that works to generate money. So let's do it again. And that's exactly what I believe that she did. Recently, Linda Moulton Howe went live on her channel with some 250,000 subscribers. And here, that's another thing. Somebody with a channel that large has a massive responsibility to double check their work and not present garbage to their audience. Do you think she cares? I don't think so, because what we get is Linda Moulton Howe pushing another completely and totally and provably fake photo of an alien made by an artist. Again, made by an artist. It's an artist rendition of an alien. She took that photo and claimed it was a real picture of a so-called, quote, orange gray alien, unquote. Then she tells a fantastical story that kind of does make sense. I have to give it to her. It's a great story. And the story is that all these gray aliens aren't really gray. They're really orange underneath. And the gray that you see is some kind of a exoskeleton that they're merged with and they keep on most of their lives. But she is going to reveal to us what's beneath the veneer of the gray aliens. Great story, great clickbait, great garbage fairy tale. Linda Moulton Howe is the mother goose of UFOs. If you want a good bedtime story that's fake, go to Linda Moulton Howe. She'll give it to you. And I also just want to make sure that I mention that a lot of people have said to me, leave her alone. Who's she hurting? She's hurting everyone and all of us, because I can't generate revenue by doing dirty, slimy things like she does. And that's not fair. That's not fair that I have to play it right. I have to do things the right way. I have to double and triple check sources. I have to find 3 sources for one story or one piece of information, just so I'm sure I'm presenting accurate and real information to my audience. And we generate a tiny percentage of the revenue that she does putting out garbage with fake pictures of aliens that she finds on the internet, apparently. But to be clear, again, just like the last time she got caught doing this, she claims that a top-ranking government insider military source sent her this picture of this orange alien. And then we're all expected to believe that she was sent that picture and she sat on it for a full-on year before she released it. And another point that's important to realize here about what she's doing and how dirty, disgusting, slimy, and deceptive it is that you'll see in this video, she marks that picture copyright Linda Moulton Howe or Earth Files. She's copywriting a picture that was created by an artist in 2008. What gives her the right to slap her copyright on another artist's hard work? Obviously, that artist worked very hard. It's a pretty good image. And we'll get into what the image was created for. And by the way, we have on the record statements from him Linda Moulton Howe? Did you even bother to contact that artist and ask him when he created the photo? Because we did, and we've got all the receipts, and we're going to show it all tonight. But before we begin, let's listen to Linda Moulton Howe's fairy tale. And it's very important that you know that this photo she's using was created by a Brazilian artist in 2008. And we have checked thoroughly through Wayback and other internet means to verify that that photo was created and existed on the internet in 2008. But again, she's going to claim that the Men in Black got involved somehow to discredit her. Sure they did, Linda. Sure they did. It's not that you just, don't do any work for your thousands and thousands of dollars. Oh, that's another point. So far, I estimate, and this is a very, very low estimate. We're going to go on the low estimate range. But based on the number of views she has gotten, and she said she's doing 4 parts of this story. She's already done 2, and she's made approximately $1,500 just from YouTube ad revenue. That doesn't count all the super chats she got while she was telling these fairy tales and showing this picture and slapping her copyright on it, which she has no legal right to do. And this artist, would be well within his rights to sue you for copyright infringement. He created those images. You don't own them. You have no right to copyright them. But this is what we get from Linda Moulton Howe, right? So let's hear Linda's fairy tale, and let's hear her try to explain it. And by the way, in the clip we're about to share, first of all, I'm citing fair use. This is fair use. I'm educating the public, Linda Moulton Howe. Don't you dare try to copyright claim me, because I've got a lawyer standing by to fight any copyright claims. We're going to reveal this tonight. We are going to educate the public about the deceptive practices that you use to fraudulently generate YouTube ad revenue. It's not fair that you get to do this and the rest of us can't just lie through our teeth and put fake photos up on YouTube pretending they're real. So this is fair use. It's a transformative work. We're going to be discussing the clip of her from her show that we're going to play tonight and educating the public. This is the textbook definition of fair use. And again, I have lawyer letters standing by for any false copyright claims that are levied against us. We will not be intimidated, we will not be silenced, and we will not be stopped from revealing to the public exactly what you do, Linda. Let's get into it, friends.
No gray is gray in color. Even drone engineered grays like this 4-fingered hand in this photo are pale in color, similar to human skin. And notice the long, dark fingernails of this being. Linda, in your book, An Alien Harvest, on page 59, you quote abductee Judy Doherty describing 2 gray entities that were dissecting tissue from a mutilated calf taken from a pasture outside Houston, Texas in May of 1973. Quote, Judy wrote, "Their hands look funny. They have long claw nails, almost like an animal's dark nails. The original tall grays used this same nanotechnology for similar reasons, but seldom use it while in space traveling, nor did they use it while evolving in their home system of Epsilon Indi due to lower gravity there. The original grays from Epsilon Indi have a very slight tint of orange in their pigmentation.
So there we have it. She's using a fake photo labeled as actual photo of orange gray alien. But it gets better because the day of or the day after her broadcast, of course, people sent me this knowing that I busted her the first time she got caught using a fake alien photo. And people asked me, is this a fake photo as well? So what I did is what I said, a simple Google reverse image search. And after a little bit of time, I found a Brazilian website that was not in English, but we're going to see tonight that it's, even if you don't speak Portuguese, you'd be able to read fictional. It was right on the website that I found. So I sent her this website. Others sent her this website, but she was planning a 4-part series on this. And by the way, if her views trend or continue to trend the way they did for the first part of her 4-part story, Linda Moulton Howe is going to make somewhere between $3,000 and $5,000 by my estimation. Now, I admit I'm not an accountant and my numbers may be off, but on the low end, let's say she's going to make from this 4-part series $3,000 from selling this fake picture as a, quote, actual picture of a orange-gray alien. She's going to make somewhere between $3,000 and $5,000 if the views continue to trend. She got 70,000 views for the first one. Anybody can look and see what the average per 1,000 views you get paid from YouTube for ad revenue. Those are monetized videos. She's going to make thousands of dollars. Let's just say it that way. Linda Moulton Howe, if she continues on this dark and dangerous path, doubling and tripling down on this garbage story, she's going to make between $3,000 and $5,000. Or let's just say she's going to make thousands of dollars. Let me know in the comments. Do you think it's right that she's going to keep thousands of dollars that she generated through this kind of deceptive work? Let me know what you think in the comments. But it gets better. The story gets better. So I sent her the links and a letter saying, Linda, you've done it again. This picture is not an actual picture of an alien. It's from a 2008 website that's even labeled fiction. And you can use, I included the links with Google Translate so it was in English, so it would be completely clear to her that this website was from an artist who was creating a fictional series about aliens and the Men in Black in Brazil. Even on the website, it's labeled, this is all fiction. She didn't care. Apparently, no reply. And I am aware of at least a few other people sent her that website and told her, you look stupid here, Linda. You did it again. This is the second time you've been caught using a fake CGI or artist rendering picture of an alien claiming it's real. So what does Linda Moulton Howe do? She's got to come out and double down. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. Because listen, if you get caught selling a fake alien picture as real, what you got to do is you got to double and triple down. You pull out the Men in Black. That's what you do first. And if the Men in Black aren't enough, you know what you do? You bring in a psychic or a remote viewer to tell everybody that, no, it really is a real picture of an alien. I can't believe she did this. But after being caught and people emailing her that this is a fake photo and here's the source way back in 2008, she doubles and triples down. Let's see what she has to say about this Portuguese website. And let's see what her remote viewer says. She brought in a remote viewer to view the death of a fake alien photo. But she's not gullible. She's a professional journalist. She's an award-winning and investigative journalist. Let me tell you something, Linda Moulton Howe. Investigative journalist, a good one, wouldn't fall for this crap. They wouldn't make these amateur hour mistakes. But you did. Or did you do this on purpose because it worked for you to generate thousands of dollars the first time? Let's get into her excuses, friends. Let's get into it.
Since showing you this photo 2 weeks ago that my military aerospace source sent me a year ago in 2021 to show me the cream-colored skin that my source says is beneath the gray nanotechnology bodysuits, I also showed this four-fingered hand that might be a second gray being retrieved from a UFO crash on the Peru-Brazil border. These are actually referred to as orange grays because their pale skin has an orange hue under certain light frequencies. Since my July 6th and 13th Earth Files YouTube broadcasts, I have been shown the same orange-gray photos on a Brazilian website that is in Portuguese. The year of the website's creation was 2007, but I have never heard of it before the past few days and have never seen the orange-gray photos until 2021, a year ago, when they were sent to me by my military aerospace source as a reality check on what actual orange-gray type extraterrestrials look like. I never showed anyone those photos until July 6th, 2 weeks ago. Never knew anything about the Brazil website. I don't know any other UFO researcher who has ever brought it up or said that they knew anything about these photos. Given this new controversy about the Brazilian website, I reached out to remote viewer D.B. Moulton, also known as Buddy, who you've seen work with me before and is a very talented remote viewer. This week, I asked him if he would remote view the orange-gray, black-eyed head photo and the four-fingered orange-gray hand, specifically on the question, what does he see through remote viewing in this ET death?
I went over the first photographs, which are clearly an extraterrestrial, and I felt that they were not only real, but I got a whole sense of the history. It's from the Brazil-Peru border, and I felt that Brazilian artist was paid and tried to claim that it was his to muddle the field.
Oh my gosh!
So there we have it, friends. When you get caught using an artist rendering and telling everybody it's a real picture of an alien, you got to double and triple down. And don't you love how she said, oh, I never seen these photos until last year. It's still your responsibility as a so-called professional investigative journalist to see if you can find the source of the photos independently of your so-called source. And again, I don't think she has a source. I think she made up this whole story, and I'm entitled to my opinion and my speculation based on her past behavior of using anonymous sources nobody else is allowed to talk to. But friends, here is also, it's very important that I mention this. The hallmark of a great researcher is that a great researcher can research something like these photos and find accurate information about them. Where was the source of the photos? Who generated them? When were they first on the internet? I found all that information. But we had a panel show shortly after her first broadcast with this fake photo, and Sixth Sense, big friend of the show and chat room moderator and all around great guy and researcher himself, mentioned on the panel show, he mentioned, well, anybody could do a reverse image search, and I bet you I could track down the source of those photos. I said, great, do it, Sixth Sense, do it. I didn't tell him I had already tracked it down. I wanted to test what I always say, which is that the hallmark of a great researcher is that anybody could go after the first researcher and find the same information. And that's exactly what Sixth Sense did. But Sixth Sense took it a step further, because Sixth Sense got an on-the-record statement from the artist, contacted the artist and everything, and we've got all the receipts for all of that. But let's get into what Sixth Sense did to prove that this is completely and totally fake, made-up garbage. And by the way, I want to thank him for doing that. And I also want to thank Spooky for the edit that we saw at the beginning of tonight's broadcast. Excellent work. Listen, let's see what Sixth Sense found when he decided to look into the origin of these so-called actual photos of an orange-gray alien. Let's see what he found after me.
Linda Moulton Howe. Everybody knows who she is, don't they? Yeah, she's like the famous, quote, journalist, right? Experienced journalist. Okay, here she has a picture of a actual real alien hand, okay? And then we have here an actual real alien on a table. Okay, really, Linda, really? Somehow I just don't believe this, and I'll show you why, okay? So I captured the image, and I went ahead and I inserted it into TinEye, and I ended up coming up with a classified UFO on both hits, at least those two images anyways. Okay, so I went ahead and I dug a little deeper, and then I found where it actually come from. Okay, here's the two pictures here. Okay, this is under alien gray, fakes, frauds, disease, misinterpretation, and documentary representation. So fake, in other words, right? Okay, and you probably can't read this, but it says, okay, there's a little pop-up here. It says, the fifth installment of Relato de MIB, Men in Black, okay? Let's see, it's a fictional series by Brazilian CGI artist Felipe Kling David. So let's go dig a little deeper here and see what this is all about, right? Let's go dig a little deeper. So here we have Felipe Kling David, and this is his channel, okay? And here's the videos, MIB, but I don't know how to say that, sorry. But I couldn't find a part 5 in here. I couldn't find part 5 because it was deleted, or actually it was put on private, and I don't really know the reason why it was put on private, but we can just leave that to speculation, okay? So I went ahead and I just said, okay, well, I'm going to check out at least one of them anyways, okay? And here we got this. And I don't have the sound on because it's in Portuguese. You can see the alien here, right? That's an alien. It's an alien. But wait. This is the important part, right? This is all fiction. He says it right there. He says it right there. This is all fiction. Fake. It's all fiction because the guy's an artist. He's a CGI artist. I mean, you know, what do you expect from that kind of thing? So I went and dug a little bit deeper, and this is what I found. Now, this is, I can't say any of these words, but okay. You can see the pictures. There's the famous Dell, monitor. Yeah, that Linda cropped out, but she left a Dell in there. Maybe she should have just deleted that. But anyways, these are the pictures. Dell computer, whatever. Then we get down to here. There's her famous, famous one. Okay, EBE. There you go. There's another one, and there's the hand. There's the hand. Now, if you look here, look. Fictional. Like we don't even know. Look at, I don't even know how to speak Portuguese, and I can see that. But I want to show you something in the translation here. I was doing some other translations and stuff like that, and it says, and at least the comments, it says, man, this is still going to work. Juka even appears on the Discovery Show, I suppose the Discovery Channel. We're a group of, quote, experts. Yeah, experts. Yeah, we all know that the Discovery Channel has experts. We know how expert they are. Okay, to look for the videos on YouTube and try to find out if they're real. Well, if you did that, maybe that is why that one is kind of on private, right? Okay. Anyhow, let's okay. Oh, I was gonna do the translation there for you of that other thing, just to show you. Fictional. That is fictional. Fictional. Fake, Linda. Fake. Okay, so here we go. We got Linda posting this on her Twitter. Okay, there's the hand one. There's the supposed alien on the thing there. Anyhow, that's just ridiculous. Okay, so we got this right here, and these are another one of the comments. And here's Felipe commenting back, and I will show you the translation on the screen here. And it says, every time someone appears saying that your Juka is real, I crack up laughing here. Oh, well, I wonder why. Because you know it's fake. Seriously. This kind of thing makes people who are more I guess laymen or just lazy people think, how many Jukas are out there on these programs that we don't even know about? I mean, come on. Here's Felipe. The cool thing is that this one at least concludes that Juka is really a fictional creation. Fictional, Linda. Fictional. Can you read? It says fictional. Fictional. Yet you still go ahead and promote it as real. So here's the thing, Linda just tries to pass off this bullshit. Yep, it's bullshit and it's fake. So now she's gonna go ahead and do what's her new program? Oh, so now she's gonna go ahead and do this and try to talk to this alien or some freaking messed up stupid shit. in the coming days here, or maybe by the time you hear this, she probably already did it. But I mean, how can people not, notice this at least at some point? I guess it's because it's in Portuguese. It's kind of hard. So yeah, maybe it's not so easy for some people, but. Come on, Linda. This is as fake as it gets. I mean, this thing is totally 100% fake. You may be fooling these people, and you're probably fooling a lot of them. Yeah, people even giving donations. I mean, hey, that's up to them. That's up to them. But, it's fake shit. It's just fake. There's nothing real about it. The guy himself says that it's fake. So there's really no end to what this lady will do to get a couple bucks, I mean, or a couple $100, a couple thousand, maybe even a couple million by the time she's done. This is just wrong. She knows it's wrong. I mean, come on, you're a journalist. Do your job.
So there we have it, friends. Proving my theory that a competent researcher will find the same results as another competent researcher. But it gets better because we have more developments since Sixth Sense made that video. He reached out to the journalist on Twitter, and we got an on-the-record statement proving 100% that he created these for a fictional series. And we got even more evidence, including photos that he sent us of sort of this image as a work in progress as he was creating it, and we're going to show it all to you. But joining me, I'm sorry that it took so long to get him here. I had him start early. I should have told him to wait a bit. We'll see. We've got him standing by in our green room. We have the Sixth Sense with us.
Hey.
Good work, man.
Excellent thank you, sir.
Excellent work.
It took me a little bit to do it, and I don't remember what time in the morning, and it was kind of early. That I actually, hit that what's the word for it? I finally just said, "Holy cow, this is great. This is totally busting her. And this is after, I don't know, I'm gonna say 8 hours at least that day, anyways. And it all comes down to a couple of links. I mean,
yeah.
And the thing is, you know what, Stephen? I mean. If there's one thing I really can't stand is fraud, fakes, liars. Be real with the people, and that's why I do what I do, and that's why I'm here helping you out, because I see that you do the same thing.
Yeah, and I appreciate that. And what really bothers me though is that I feel like it's not fair to the other people who were doing work the right way. Like I can't take shortcuts like just taking some fictional image off the internet and claiming it's a real picture of an alien. It's not fair. And, all I want is a level playing field. Let's make it fair for everyone. If I can't use fake alien photos and generate $3,000 to $5,000 to $10,000, whatever, thousands of dollars, then she shouldn't be able to. It's not fair to people doing this the right way, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, no doubt about that. No doubt about that. And that's it. I mean, and I also feel that, I'm not so much on the side of people that continually get fooled, even though you tell them, look, you're getting fooled here. They're running you a line and you just will not listen, but there's people that seriously and really can't help it. They're desperate. They're looking for an out. They're looking for something to hold on to.
It's an escape. It's an escape. It's a fantasy delusional escape.
And I feel
think
bad.
that's
I
real.
feel bad for those people because those are the people.
I feel bad. I feel bad for everybody that was sending her super chats while she was doing that.
You know what? And I looked at the chat there, and I watched the chat there, and usually I would have recorded the complete chat and stuff just so that I can see the idea. But she didn't remove the
Yeah.
chat this time, which is
Well,
unusual
there's a
because she usually
challenge.
does.
There's another challenge. If anybody would like to watch Linda Moulton Howe's 2 broadcasts and count up for us how much she collected in super chats, we can add that to the ill-gotten gains total of the ad revenue that she's getting paid for this garbage. And let's get into Sixth Sense. The additional Sixth Sense did a great job. He reached out to the artist. We have an on-the-record statement from the actual artist, who wasn't surprised to learn that people thought it was real, kind of, because it appears that this isn't the first time that something like this has happened and he got wind of it. But here's the on-the-record statement. And by the way, there's a language barrier, so originally I thought that that image was CGI, but we'll see in a moment that it appears that it was a sculpted bust that he used and then modified the image after he took the picture. But here it says, this is from the actual artist who created the photos that Linda Moulton Howe is claiming are of a real alien. He says, I asked him in the Twitter thread, I asked him, can you please tell us, what the origin of these were, when you created them? And he replied, he must have used Google Translate as well, but he gave us this nice reply. He said, certainly, let me introduce myself first. I am an artist, blogger, and writer from Brazil. All this was published in my blog on www.mundogump.com.br. In 2008, I wrote a fictional tale that became almost a small web series about the men in black who operated in Brazil and how they needed to hide a living alien to use the dead man's trigger because a political issue with U.S. and Brazil government allowed the U.S. men in black to operate in Brazil, and Brazilian agents began to die mysteriously after. And again, this is a fictional story. He goes on to say, for this story, I created a series of things, characters that interacted with my blog readers, videos, photos, and images like the ones you saw above. But I always made it clear that it was a work of fiction, although some people thought it was too believable, and a parallel conspiracy began of people believing that much of it was reality disguised as fiction for ulterior reasons. He goes on to say, I had a lot of fun with this whole creation. Although I received death threats twice, it was really a fun period of my blog. One of my videos of the captured alien is this. And then he gives the YouTube URL of some more of his, fictional alien work. So, me and Sixth Sense sort of tag teamed on this guy to catch up and get the skinny of it,
Yeah, I actually was surprised when he actually acknowledged that the 2 pictures that I sent him were his artwork. Because I need to make sure that this is the case. I just can't go, well, I think it is. I think it is.
Yeah, I'm glad that we both got to interact with him on Twitter, and I'm going to try to see how good is his English, because my Portuguese is terrible. I can't speak Portuguese. Maybe I would be willing to even get a translator just to have this guy here, because I'd like to get his reaction. How does he feel knowing that Linda Moulton Howe essentially stole his images in one form or another? She could say somebody gave them to her, but those are his images. Clearly, he owns them. Then she slaps copyright on them and tells this fantastical story and generates thousands of dollars in ad revenue that she doesn't deserve. Right? I want to know how he feels about it. And by the way, Linda Moulton Howe, why don't you give the artist the money that you falsely, deceptively generated? Why don't you give the money to the artist who actually created this art and apologize to everybody for what you did? Sickening.
I got to say that looking through his stuff, he does fantastic work.
Yeah, amazing artist. I love pictures of aliens.
Yeah.
Even if I know,
well, he does other things as well. Yeah. There's other things that he does. He likes to do the busts though. And I think that's one of his favorite things to do. But right, you're right about the language barrier, and I tell you that was a lot of it was translate. And I want to see what these people are saying, and I don't know Portuguese, but
Yeah.
and the thing is look, he's a really good artist, and for
Yeah.
somebody like Linda Moulton Howe to just flat out rip him off, and here's the thing about her images, she cropped out things, I mean, so and this is all I can see is that when people do that kind of stuff and they modify the image, they turn it and this and that, and there's other UFO people that do that same type stuff. When they turn it like that and they modify it, they think nobody can find this now because I modified it. Nobody can find the exact
No,
thing of what I
some of
got.
the better reverse Google image searches will find it. Even if you mirror it, rotate it, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
Filter it, it'll still find it. Some
Yeah.
of that AI is great. But let's get into some of the other. I was so happy because this guy interacted with us, and then I told him what was happening, that somebody in the United States is generating thousands of dollars claiming that his fake alien images are pictures of real aliens, and he sent us further proof that I think this is the smoking gun. And
Totally.
any of these fake excuses that Linda Moulton Howe, she can bring in 10 more remote viewers and psychics, it's still fake, right? And we'll talk about the ridiculousness of her excuses. But
oh my God.
He told us, me and Sixth Sense, to show the audience this.
Yep.
Show the audience this.
Yep.
Because
Well,
this is a work in progress that he created before the final image. So this is the alien hand photo that we see.
and notice
Linda's
how many
video.
fingers it has. Look at how many
Notice
fingers
it has. Very human hand.
Yeah.
And then he goes over the image with computer graphics, takes off a finger, turns the fingernails black, and creates the image that appears to be an alien hand with a missing digit. So
I never expected that he would actually, and this is really what I wanted. I wanted him to send us the unedited stuff, and he did. I was like, I never would imagine in a million years.
So we've got her dead to rights again, and I'm not accepting this whole stupid excuse that's, well, somebody sent me the photos. That's no excuse. If somebody sent me these photos, or you these photos, Sixth Sense, or any competent researcher these photos, they would have done the same thing you and I did, is try to find the origin of the photos. And if you find the artist, talk to him. Say, what's the deal here,
Well, that's it. She considers herself an experienced journalist, right? Now, an experienced journalist would do even more than what I did. Yeah, I mean, or at least have a team that's going to look into this stuff. I mean, and then, hey, and let's not forget the guy that's doing this remote viewing thing. I mean, let's not forget Buddy, because Buddy is playing a stupid part here too. Because look, that totally debunks him as you're debunking a fake picture. An image or modified image.
He's helping her double down, saying,
yes, exactly.
Those are definitely real images, even though people have found the artist, right?
Incredible.
Even though people have found the artist, we've got on the record statements from the artist. We've got work in progress pictures showing that he created these digitally and otherwise. And let's show the other image, because that other image is. The other image is even better, I think, right? The other image, I think, is even better because it shows that this alien head that Linda Moulton Howe is touting as a real alien was a sculpted bust that he then further manipulated so just to be clear to the audience, what he did was he created a sculpted bust and painted it of an alien head. Then he put it in the photo on a gurney or whatever. He took a picture, and then he loaded it into a digital photo editor and digitally manipulated it to get to the version that Linda Moulton Howe is sharing as a real, so-called real alien photo. But here is the proof that he sent us that he created this. Clearly, that's a sculpted alien bust. The alien is missing some of its parts here, right?
Yeah. And that's how artists do that too. They don't just create one whole item, they'll create different parts, because if you look at the torso, I don't think that the torso was so edited as much as the face, because you really want to capture somebody's attention. They're looking at the eyes, and the thing is is you can see that. Look at where's the coloring, the orange coloring and stuff too. So I am so glad that Philippe, I don't know how to say his name, and that's how I'm going to say it, but. I'm so glad that he actually totally just sent us these things. This is totally bonus. I mean, I think that we already had her anyways, but to get the artist to show us other versions of his stuff, before and after type things, because if you can look, the table is exactly the same. It's just like flipped or something or whatever. Everything's
Yeah.
the same. So she can't. So now she can't say that. Look, this is the real one and he faked that one. Well, what are you talking about, lady? Here's the before and after. Anyhow, and that's it. Too. This was 2008. She said she didn't get it until what, 6 years or so? So many years ago. The thing is this was out way before she even did that, and that's
Yeah, and that's another thing we should talk about, because even her explanation makes no sense. Because what did
yeah,
they do? Did
doesn't
they go back in
yeah,
time
yeah, time
and
travel.
get this guy to put it on a website in 2007? And by the way, I said 2008. She said 2007, but I said 2008 because he said he created the website in 2008. I'm not sure. It's either
Yeah,
2007 or 2008. It doesn't really matter.
2008, I
The point
believe, right?
is that this picture existed on the internet as early as 2008.
Yep.
So for
And
her to profit from this fake story and then double and triple down on it, right? you know
see, I think that there might actually be more to this because during my investigation into this, there was something, and I'm going to say around 2013 that this got brought up again, and really my target was to go ahead and find out what Linda was showing. I wasn't interested in the other people that were involved. So much, and things like Nolan come up,
Mhm.
all the big fraud names come up during
Yeah,
my search.
and isn't it
How many other
interesting?
people did the same
Isn't
thing
it
she did?
interesting when you do a reverse
Ancient
Google image
aliens?
search? Yeah, but when you do Sixth Sense, when you do a reverse Google image search on those images, the first site that pops up is a site that is labeled fake alien pictures.
I know, hey.
Like that might be some indication, Linda Moulton Howe, that this is not a real picture of an alien. And also, some people have made excuses for her and said, well, maybe she doesn't know how to use Google reverse image search. She has staff. She's that affluent that she can pay staff. Somebody works for her doing web stuff and answering her emails. She's got people that could do that for her if she chose to actually work for a living instead of just defraud the public with fake nonsense like this from a Brazilian artist creating a fictional web
You,
series.
you know what? And I want to give credit to the classified UFO because actually that is what gave me his name. And then I could further, and here's the thing: when I'm doing this stuff, I gotta make sure everything is in line. Everything's in line, and that's probably the
Yeah,
most difficult part,
yeah, you
and then
definitely.
time-consuming part. I have to cross-reference everything to make sure. And that site gave me his name, and then I was like, because you're never going to hear it from Linda. She just says this Brazilian website, and here's the thing about the Brazilian website. She must have, or I can assume that she had viewed that website. Now, did she just bypass the part that said it's fiction? Or the
Apparently,
chat?
or she
Did,
ignored
did,
that part. Yeah,
did
didn't
she
fit her
find a
story.
translator to go ahead and somebody to translate what it's saying? Or did
Well,
she
she didn't
just
even
look at the
need to
picture?
find a translator. You could copy and paste the text into
Yeah,
Google Translate,
yeah, that's
and
what I
it'll
did.
tell
Yeah,
you more or
yeah.
less what it says.
But she
Google
didn't
Translate's
even.
pretty close. It's not
Yeah,
exact, but it's pretty
right.
close.
But she didn't even do that. So for an experienced journalist, and I want to quote journalist because in my eyes, I just see this as fraud. I don't see this as journalism at all. And that's the sad part of it. And thankfully we got people like you here, Stephen, that expose this type of stuff. And you know how many people I see in the chat say, oh my God, I never knew that this person so and so was so bad and that they were lying to me. You know how much I see that
Yeah,
quite
me too. I
often,
get
dude.
emails
Often.
almost at least every week. Somebody will say, "Hey, I used to listen to this person. Thanks for letting me know that they're peddling garbage at us."
Yeah, my God, and and there is seriously people that just don't see it. They don't see it, and some people I want to say that believe it. They believe it because they need to believe it. I don't know what the reasoning is there, but
Yeah,
what she's doing is wrong. Period. There's no question
yeah.
about it.
It's absolutely wrong. And you know what? And here's another thing. This is very important.
Yep.
Getting caught doing this once is a mistake, and everybody can make mistakes. So I'll forgive you for a mistake, especially, but only if you own up to the mistake and take responsibility, which she never did for the first one I caught her selling a fake alien picture, right?
Oh my God.
Now
She
she's
thought it
done
was a
it. She's done it again. And in my opinion, and I freely admit it's my own speculation and opinion here,
Yeah.
she knew the last time that she tried this, she generated a lot of money. So
Oh my God.
she
Jeez.
did it. Maybe she did it again. And I want to again publicly challenge her, give that money to the artist that
Come
you
on the
took that
show.
photo for, or come on the show and we'll
Yeah.
clear the air, right? Everybody makes mistakes, but she better
Right.
take responsibility this time and not pull out the Men in Black time travel, you know, conspiracy to explain it away. And this whole situation brings up an awful lot of problems, because what I want to mention, and this is very important, is that when we talk about consumer fraud, if a judge or a jury sees that she's done this more than once, it's a pattern. It's a pattern of deceptive abuse. And I
think
believe that
no,
it's abusive to YouTube. It's abusive to the community. It's abusive to her audience. She sat there collecting super chats for a photo that I sent her the proof was from a 2008 artist's website. And she went on again and collected more super chats, more ad revenue. This is wrong.
There's definitely a pattern, at least, you know, and I want to say this, just, you know, just if somebody is really questioning me, you know, check for yourself. And here's the other thing. This is my personal opinion on things, you know. So don't try to sue me for defamation, because it ain't
Linda,
gonna work. Because
sue him. Don't sue me.
yeah,
I get
I'll
enough.
take full responsibility for everything that I say. Full
I
responsibility.
mean, quite honestly, if she did, I would love that, because what people don't realize is that if she were to sue me, I would get subpoena power. And in other words, I would be able to subpoena all her email records to find out if somebody really sent her those photos or not. She doesn't want to do that and give me subpoena power. You don't want to give somebody like me the power to subpoena your emails, your text, your phone records, your phone logs. That would be a bad idea. But again, also, we definitely have to mention this. The last time I caught her with the Area 51 video game cover she was selling behind a paywall, a lot of other show hosts gave me shit, and they said, "Oh, you know, she means well. Maybe she really believed that her source said it." They all made excuses for her. And what I said at the time is, none of us, we can't let her get away with doing this. Because if we do, she's going to do it again. And here we are. And I was right. She's done it again, because there was no consequences from the first time she got caught pulling something like this.
See, that's the thing. And there's undeniable proof that she, not only did she, or did, I guess you can't really say that. Did she read the Portuguese, or did she get a translator? I mean, because she says that it's a Brazilian website, and that's like apparently what they speak down there for the most part. She never even took the effort to do this, yet she's making money off this. I mean, if you're going to sell a product,
look at this.
at
Look
least
at
make
this. So
sure.
here's part of the problem. It's never occurred to you guys that the artist claiming to have made this was a disinformation agent.
Of course.
Hey, Orion Live.
Plausible deniability.
He did this. He made that, and he put up that website in 2008, so that in 2022 he could discredit her, claiming that was a real alien. Sure,
Right,
he played the long game, dude, because he waited 14 years to disinform people. That is a ludicrous, ridiculous argument. We've got on the record statements, and you people that make excuses for her are part of the problem. You're part of the problem.
See, look at and those recent pictures that he sent us. I mean, that just proves that look at the before and after. How can you deny that this is the case when he's showing you what it looked like before he did the editing and did his magic? Because he does really, really good work.
Yeah,
he's
an artist. I like the guy. I don't speak Portuguese, but I still want to see that whole series that he made, because I love aliens and I like the Men in Black. I would watch that. Yeah. So here we have it again. You're telling me, Mr. Excuses, and by the way, your opinion is welcome here, but at some point you have to say, this Men in Black ridiculous disinformation, somebody trying to discredit. Yeah, Linda Moulton Howe is so important that somebody in the government is planning a disinformation agent back in 2008 to put this stuff on a website to discredit her in 2022. It's a ridiculous argument. It makes no sense. But here we see, again, images from this gentleman that of his creation of this creature that is a sculpted bust of an alien, you know? And back to my point, though. All those show hosts that gave her a pass the last time, I want to ask them, how do you feel now? Because now there's more victims. More people have sent her money for garbage because many of you clowns let her get away with it the first time. I heard people on air making excuses for her when I caught her the last time. And you know, arguing, you know, oh, Stephen Campion's just being mean or what? No, I'm trying to save victims. People should not be sending her money for this garbage.
You know, I want to say that, look at, you know, people, you know, just to cover asses, just to cover our butt here a little bit, you know, if they choose to donate, then that's up to them, you know, but we really want you to look at this stuff and see what she's really selling you. You know,
they should be fully informed before they hit that
Yes.
money button in the live chat and know what they're
Right.
buying and what they're supporting. If you send this woman money, you're supporting this level of garbage information that she's shoveling. She's been shoveling garbage into this thing
How many years?
for decades.
Yeah.
She's been shoveling this level of garbage. And again, if this had been the first time, I'd give her a pass, but she's been caught time and time again. She shoveled the arts parts garbage. She shoveled the CARET documents, CARET documents. Those were completely fake. Arts parts, completely fake. Ordinary earthly metals, completely fake.
Yeah.
She shoveled this UFO, you know, Area 51 video game cover as real. She also shoveled this Antarctica story where her insider was supposed to be a Navy SEAL, and during the interview, she asked him what his rank in the Navy was, and he gave like an Army rank that wasn't even a Navy rank. That could be some indication that your source is full of it. And again, I publicly challenge her, release your sources. If you're not going to take responsibility, you're going to try to blame somebody else, give me the source's name and information, or Sixth Sense, or any other researcher. Let an independent party call him and verify that he gave you these photos last year, and that you didn't just take them from the internet so that you could deceptively generate YouTube ad revenue and make money that you did not earn or deserve.
With fake anonymous sources, because what did she say during her stream? It was something like from this
government
intelligence
aerospace insider. Yes.
Yeah, something crazy like that. I mean, then isn't that what the frauds do? They use these. Well, they sound like important people, you know. I mean, we don't know who they are, and we never will, because they're probably imaginary, most of them.
Well, that's another thing. Listen, a real aerospace insider wouldn't have been fooled by this level of garbage pictures. He would have looked it up like we did and found out they were fake. But Linda Moulton Howe wants you to believe that some really important government insider, aerospace insider, had these alien photos somehow and sent them to her exclusively. And she was the only one that had the photos. They're all over the internet if you look.
If you go on to her website there, you'll notice that I think it's in the about section or something. She shows all of her awards that she's gotten, you know, journalist this, journalist that. And I'll tell you, this is what it does to me. For me, it has me question, what is the value of those? If those people themselves didn't even look into you to see how genuine your work was and how thorough it was, how do you get these awards by promoting, you know, both?
It gets better. And fair use. We're showing her public website. This is a public website, but we're still citing fair use. This fake story is right on the main page of her website, where you can pay money for a membership. That's deceptive. In my opinion, this is outright consumer fraud.
Well, look,
consumer fraud.
She's using the image of an artist right there. I mean, that's proof. Look at. Did you get permission from him? You know, you don't even name him at all. You know, did you get permission from him to even post that kind of thing?
Yeah.
You know, and here it is on her website. Now, tell me she isn't making money off this. I doubt that. You know, she's definitely.
Yeah, and by the way,
my opinion,
she I don't know if she did it for this story, but she does it for many stories. she will put a story on her public YouTube, and then she will put another part to the story behind the paywall. So if you were fooled by this image and you thought this image was a real gray alien, you might have signed up for her website to see what other information she's presenting about this actual orange gray alien.
Yeah,
Amazing.
you know, Plan B goes ahead and says he should sue her. Now, I think that there's totally grounds for suing her for copyright infringement. I don't think that there's a doubt. And this isn't a lawyer information. This isn't you know, the thing is I really feel myself that he could, and the thing is look at.
Yes, she falsely generated thousands of dollars with his artwork without permission. That's a lawsuit in my eyes.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I mean,
well, listen to this. Earth Files is an award-winning news website where experts, eyewitnesses, and viewers share their latest updates in Earth and astrophysical mysteries. And she keeps saying award-winning, and I just have to say, like, award-winning journalists don't make amateur hour clown choose mistakes like this. They do the work. This is not journalism. This is clickbait garbage peddling.
So how did she get those awards? I mean, granted, look at she's got them to show off. Okay, I'm not going to say that she didn't get them from however means, but how do you get something like that when all you do is promote Bo? I just can't fathom.
Well, and then there's another issue is that she talks about the stories she presents on YouTube at UFO conferences that people pay big bucks to get into.
Right.
So is she going to talk about these orange gray aliens at the next bunch of conferences that she's going to talk at? Because I'm contacting them, and I want on the record statements from everybody hiring Linda Moulton Howe as a speaker. Are you aware that she has twice now used fake alien images, and is that what you're presenting to your audience as true stories?
The thing is look, if we were to go back and look at everything she's done, which is probably an incredible amount of work, I'm sure that we can find many more things that she's done that are just
she's
just
very
fake.
fond. She's very fond of calling herself an Emmy award-winning journalist, but she won a regional Emmy, and it was for sound. Thank you, UFO Watchdog. He's the OG of busting these clowns, and he should always be recognized. Go to UFOWatchdog.com. I got to twist his arm. I want an interview from him because he's been doing this for 10 years longer than me. We got to twist his arm and get him on here, 6 cents. He's the OG of busting these guys. Yeah.
You know what, Stephen, you mentioned about that when you first had me search for that and stuff. Now here's the thing is that's what really got me interested. I'm like saying, okay, if this one comes back and obviously it's from 2008 or actually originally I think it was 2013 I found older stuff. Anyways, and then I did more and then I did more and then I did more. I was like, oh my God, there's so much. I'll tell you, 9 out of 10 of every picture that I looked that was concerning this was from a source that was way, way old. And that's how I come up to the 2008 one there finally. And that's what I was looking for, the oldest one that I could find. The very first mention of it on the internet, as best as I could. I mean,
people are asking, can people not demand their money back for paying for memberships, etc.? Also, I don't know.
Well, hopefully this at least shows some people, that are watching this that this happens way too often, and hopefully you learn from seeing this kind of thing, and you do what's best for you, and that's really I think what we're asking here. If you choose to support her, then that's up to you, and I mean, but look at the information. Look at what is presented. I don't think you can get any more solid than this, especially being that Philippe was so generous to offer us pictures that she never even seen probably, or nobody's ever seen. Because what CGI artist actually shows you the before and after, unless that's their mission, And he was so generous to go ahead and just toss it out there. I was like, oh my God, no way. The 5-finger one, that was just gold for me.
Chris,
and I know the bust one is good.
Look at this. I was the first case of this before these cases you were talking about back in 2007. I am a CG artist. Linda Moulton Howe has been at this for a long time. Chat to me after the show. Chris A., please do. Yeah, you can follow me. It's at Stephen Cambion on Twitter, or please email me. because I want to be sure that I'm able to talk to you. It's very important to me. If we could get another case of her taking CGI art and claiming it's real, that would be 3. That would be 3 strikes, you're out, Chris A. So I'd be very interested in talking to you, right? And here's my email address. It's in the about section of the video. It's just truthseekershow@gmail.com. Please make sure that you email me or DM me on Twitter. You can also contact me on Facebook just by my name, Stephen Cambion. We want to talk to you because we'd love to get another example of her doing this. We'd love to get another example.
If there's any of you out there,
thank you for being here, and we would love you to share your story because it would really help. It would really help.
Yeah, if there's any of you out there that are being or know you've been scammed by anyone that we cover here, please just let us know. My DMs are open. Steven's DMs are open. Steven has an email up here. Get a hold of us and let us know what your story is, because this will further help us help other people.
Yeah,
that are going through it.
And silence, when people remain silent when they've been victimized like this, that's what allows people to continue to victimize others. You got to speak up, Yeah. And I know there's, especially in this so-called UFO community, there's peer pressure for everybody. That's another thing. Here's another elephant in the room that we've talked about that other shows are all avoiding. They don't want to put her on blast, right? And I think that more show hosts should. It's ridiculous that this woman is making thousands of dollars from this garbage.
Do you think Jimmy Church will put her on blast? Do you think she'll do a Kurt Jamingle?
No, but I think she was just on Jimmy Church, and I was going to. Somebody wants me to cover that, but Jimmy Church might falsely copyright claim me again. Last time we won, I think I'm not sure, but I think if you falsely copyright claim somebody, the strike goes back to your channel. So.
Well, I think they get flagged, or at least on the administrative side, they get flagged as if, okay, this didn't pass. So if you go through 3 or 4 of them,
we're going to be all over Linda Moulton Howe, and we're going to start scrutinizing more of her stories. So if she was, I believe she was just on Jimmy Church, and somebody wanted me to cover it. We're covering it next week, and we're going to stay on top of her. If I can't use fake CGI stuff to generate thousands of dollars, then neither can she. We're going to level the playing field here. She's going to have to get up and actually work for a living after this. That's my wish. And that's all I want. I want this to be fair. I can't do these things. It's not fair that other people, and look at the level of subscribers she has. But
oh my God!
What it is.
Okay, look at and how many people did she have on that stream? I can't remember what the number was, or did I actually see?
Probably thousands.
But think of this: when they ran that poll, it turned out to be something like 77%. We forgot to talk
about the poll. Yes, we forgot to talk about the poll.
So how many?
So maybe she has gullible people, or people just believe her. She has the believer crowd because. For those unaware, during the second stream where the remote viewer came in to help her do damage control, because I already had caught her using this fake image, she did a poll of her audience, and apparently 78% of her live chat audience thought that the images were real. So that shows you how easy it is to fool people with fake images, right?
And that's it. How many more potential victims could that be? I mean, and here's the thing, though. When looking at the chat, I did see a fair amount of people criticize her about it and say, hey, look at and I was never a fan of this, a picture of a picture on a monitor. I mean, how many people do that with the UFO stuff? It's like, you can't do that. Where is the original source?
It's a way to grainy it up so that there's less detail there. To take a picture of a picture. Sure. Yeah.
And actually that's what I think she did actually on that picture too, because I was looking to see if I could read what the title of the tab that was open up there on the monitor was, and I couldn't read it, but I'm sure that was intentional. I mean, they like to do that. But how many other victims or potential victims, I want to say it like that, could there be? I mean, being that 77%, think that was real.
And a lot of people are suggesting that it's time for her to retire. You know what I want? I don't want her to retire. What I want, what I really want, is for her to have the passion and the work ethic and the drive that she had when she started, because that Strange Harvest documentary and book were excellent. She did great work. She actually talked to people. She got real sources. Now, for all we know, she fudged some of it because we could see a pattern of her fudging things, or, no due diligence on the sources. But I believe that when she started, she had like passion and she really cared to do a good job. And eventually she just figured out that you just need to have a good fairy tale. You don't need to have real sources, or you could just use anonymous ones. She's the queen of anonymous sources. Nobody else is allowed to talk to her sources. Nobody else is allowed to interview them about what they told her. But we're all just supposed to believe her that important government insiders and Navy SEALs come to her to tell their stories somehow. They never go to anybody else. They never go to anybody else. They go to Linda.
I just recently, and I won't name the YouTuber here. I just recently found some older footage, or well, not recent, anyways, and they were pretty much mentioning their method. They said, well, hey, look, if we can sell this garbage, why not just sell this garbage? And so they're here today, promoting truth. Right. What did you, and the thing is they're one of those fence riders, and that's what I call those people. They'll ride the fence because they'll go to the side that's making them the most money, not because one side is real, one side's fake, whatever side, they're just going to go with the flow. And the thing is I find problems with that, and I won't say their name. I'm sure that there's quite a few of them out there. I'm just going to say that they know third phase quite well. So
yeah.
And the thing is, it's old footage. Do you think that people can't find this stuff? I mean, and that's the thing. There's so much of this.
By the way, that wasn't supposed to be about Simon Parks. If you have a story to share about Linda Moulton Howe, I just haven't updated my bumpers in a while here, so I apologize. And somebody, Elegant Pause, said, I saw this last night and thought of you. So many people sent me messages that we had to cover this. We had to bring it to you. So, and I'm glad for Sixth Sense help and assistance, and I'm glad for Spooky's help and assistance, because listen, I'm only one guy here, and I try to be a one-man army, an army of one, the best I can. But I do better work when I have a little bit of help and somebody, like these two who contribute and really, really help us to bring you the real truth. And isn't it funny, Sixth Sense, how the so-called truthers, the people bringing us the truth, are the biggest liars? Apparently, they're the biggest liars. I don't get that, right?
That's it. They're selling themselves as truthers, and they're just the total opposite. So that's why I really don't even like the word truther anymore, or truther channel. I mean, because of that, and it's so abused. Maybe that's it. It's an abused word. How many people put truth in their name and then they really don't show the truth? At least here we give you verifiable evidence. We show you just what we found. You look for yourself. You decide for yourself. What do? They don't link anything. Oh, we're going to link something, and they never link it. Where's the source?
And by the way, what I'm going to do, and I can't do this till tomorrow because there's a lot of stuff I could get into it, but I won't. Tomorrow, I'm going to put the pictures and the statement from this gentleman and screen captures of our interaction with him all in one folder on Google Drive, and we'll put it in the description of this video. It'll be there sometime tomorrow, and then anybody can have access to the evidence that we've shared tonight. I'll put the videos too. I'll put Sixth Sense's video and these other two videos in the folder and share it with all of you.
That's Creative Commons. Anybody can use that. You guys share it. Share it. I'll tell you right now. Use it. Send it out far and wide. It's all Creative Commons.
Yeah. Well, Sixth Sense, it's been a long week, and you know what? I'm very proud of the work that we did this week. We had an experiencer. Spooky helped us with some clips, videos, and by the way, there's a few more coming this weekend, I believe. And we interviewed Philip Mantle. I want to remind everybody that we try to do this the right way, and we try to bring the good guys here that aren't liars and fraudsters. Honestly, the liars and fraudsters won't come here because they know I'm going to ask them really hard questions. We had Philip Mantle. He's another one of those OG guys, researchers. He's been doing this for decades. He's written tons of books. He is super knowledgeable, especially about the alien autopsy hoax. We did an interview earlier today at 1 p.m. Eastern. It's in our channel. Go there and check out that interview because I think it's really important to support the people that do good work and write good books and research things the right way. It seems like that these fraudsters take all the air out of the room and they get all the attention. And some of these good guys doing great work just get lost in the shuffle.
Or they try to shut you down. You know, that's the thing. Shut down the opposition. You know, the people that are actually showing the truth. You know. So
Yeah.
hey, Stephen, thank you for you know,
thank
letting
you.
your audience see this most important stuff.
My pleasure.
I mean,
We wouldn't have it any other way.
you know, and I really appreciate what you do here, buddy. And I'm going to let you go here to finish off the show. Thank you very much. I hope you all have a good night here. And please support. I'm going to link this guy. Please support him. Follow him. You know, he does really excellent 3D artwork.
Yeah, and actually let him know what you thought about our broadcast. Let him know what you think of his artwork and his pictures, because I think he would like to know. Maybe he found a whole new fan base out of her fakery and fraudery and people that will follow his work. I'm going to follow him on Twitter. I like everything that I saw. He's a great artist.
Yeah.
You know.
So thank you again there, Steve. And I'm going to let you go here. And I got to, I'm sweating my ass. It's like 91. I can't turn the fan on. It's like 91 in here.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, you have a good night. And thank you for all your help and assistance.
Yeah. Bye.
All right. Later, brother. Now, listen. It has been a really tough week, and believe it or not, I'm supposed to be at my cabin right now. But I thought that tonight's broadcast was so important. For those that don't know, it's between a 2 and 3 hour ride to my cabin in the Pocono Mountains of Pennsylvania from here, which I've been building steadily for a few years now. I was supposed to go at 6 p.m. tonight, but I thought that tonight's broadcast was so important. And sometimes I get stuck in traffic and I didn't want to push it back to 10 p.m. or 11 p.m. or whatever, and we'd have less viewers. It's also always better to do the show from home here in my studio. My home studio is much better equipped and more comfortable usually. There's a heat wave. It's terrible in here. Like he said, I can't have an air conditioner on or a fan or anything in here. But anyway, I got to get to the cabin. I'm still going tonight. Right now it is 10:33 p.m. So I'm going to take a late night drive to the cabin, which for those of you that know, I'm visually impaired. That's the reason for the glasses. I have a paralyzed eye. I hate driving at night, but for you guys, I did this because I thought this is too important. We got to do it on the dot at 9 p.m. Get the most viewers. And we have Spooky here reminding us of upcoming raffles. Yes. I have a bunch of these leftover from our Roswell 75th anniversary event. I have some of those prizes left over. I printed way too many of them. Oh, check it out. We're getting blurry like Bigfoot. So going forward, starting next week, everybody that goes and gives a super chat, we will be putting their name in a hat. And at the end of the show, or we're going to use a random number generator. We're still working out the actual raffle part of it. I want a hat. Spooky wants a random number generator, so everybody's sure it's fair. We'll figure it out. But starting next week, we're going to raffle off a prize every single night. So if you give any amount of super chat, your name goes in the hat. If you give 2 super chats, I guess your name goes in the hat. We're still working out the rules. We're going to start that next week. Now, I have to take some time to recognize all you kind and generous supporters. Do you know, just like Linda Moulton Howe, there are people that are making thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars to bring you garbage information, lie to you about anonymous sources, in my opinion, lie to you about where they got their so-called evidence. There are people making thousands and thousands of dollars lying to you. You have my commitment. We do the very best we can to give you accurate information with evidence, with receipts, and we're not going to lie to you. So we thank tremendously the fact that we have kind and generous supporters all over the world, really, who are helping us to continue this great work. I want to take a moment. We read every single super chats. Every single super chat we read, every single PayPal donation we read, PayPal pledge we read. If you become a new member during the show, we read that out loud. And Cash App people, we read those as well. But I'm going to take a moment to thank the super chatters. And to do that, there's just a money button down there. You can send any amount you wish. So we thank Lord Ludicrous for kind and generous $1.99 pledge and super chat. He says, you should make an offer for that alien head. Yeah. I may contact him. And with another $1.99 super chat, and kind and generous longtime show supporter Lord Ludacris, thank you for your support. He says, fantastic work, Sixth Sense and Steven, awesome job. And Spooky also contributed to tonight's broadcast, so thank Spooky as well. UFO John Doe with a kind and generous 99-cent super sticker. I think that's poop. Is that poop, UFO John Doe? UFO John Doe is our MVP, always throwing some money in the hat. Thank you for your kindness, your generosity, and continued support of the show. And here he is with another one. Kind and generous $4.99 super chat says, had to rewatch tonight's intro several times just to watch the mouth hit the floor. Great work, guys. Don't read this. Don't interrupt the show flow. Yeah, thank you, UFO John Doe, but we're reading it anyway. We read every single super chat. But what we do, sometimes when we have a presentation that's important, I don't stop and read every super chat. But we're going to be doing some of those shows next week where we will stop and read and put on the screen every single super chat. This we'll have to do for now. And also, Roberto Bobby says, thank you for your hard work, Truth Seekers. Well, really, it's becoming a team effort. Remember, it's not Truth Seeker here, it's Truth Seekers, and you guys are all a part of the team. Everybody contributes in their own way. Tonight, we had Sixth Sense contributing with his excellent research. I was pulling for him. I said, I'm going to set him loose on this. And honestly, I did. I said a prayer. I said, please, God, let him find the same stuff that I found so that I can prove my theory that the hallmark of a good researcher is that another researcher can go after them and find the same information. And he did. Actually, he took it a step further and helped us to communicate with the actual artist more, which was great. And also Roberto Bobby with a kind and generous super sticker. What is that? It looks like, I don't know. You'll have to forgive me. I'm visually impaired. Is that doves or birds? Kind and generous $3 super sticker. Thank you very much. And Sidvich, longtime show supporter with a kind and generous NOK 500. And I always forget, what is that? How much is that? Every time somebody, it's like when I get pesos, right? We take, and by the way, we take all money. YouTube will convert it for us. Whoa, $50. Very, very generous of you. Thank you for your kindness, your generosity, and your support. That is very, very generous of you. And we thank you, and so generous. And a long time, very, very long time show supporter, Sidvich. Thank you so much for your kindness. Oh, it's not NOK, it's KR. Well, we'll look that up later. Okay, I may be wrong about the US amount. Oh no, that's $48 US. So thank you very much. Current exchange rates and all. But hey, brother, can you spare $1? Thank you, Sidvich, for answering the call. We're still going from earlier. I don't know that I read them, did I? I don't know that we read our earlier broadcast, so I'm going to finish reading them. We have Space Cow with kind and generous $6.99 Canadian says, good stuff, Cambion and Philip. Great info. Yeah, I thought that was one of my favorite interviews I've ever did because I love the guy's books. I've read one. I'm sure I read one a long time ago, though. And I just find him to be a really good guy. He was a fun interview to do, and I was glad that I could take you all with me. And Spooky with a kind and generous $1.79. And I always tell Spooky, don't send me super chats because, for those unaware, when I took the 3 weeks off, the live viewership really died. And with it, a lot of the funding died. Not that I'm complaining. I'm just stating a fact. So Spooky was off doing her own thing, and I was left to my own terrible graphic skills to do these thumbnails. Spooky's now back, and Spooky and I have to talk about, I gotta break off Spooky some money. So I feel I don't like the fact that, number one, Spooky is volunteering until we work out the financial details. I got to figure out what I'm going to pay her and how. But Spooky sent a $1.79 super chat, says, excellent interview. Phil is a great speaker. And thank you, Spooky, for all your kindness and generosity in time. Spooky donates a lot of time. Spooky's going to be the new clip producer here, as well as graphic artist or whatever else. But I feel like I got to find some money, right? I definitely got to find some money. Randy Redmond said, with a kind and generous $2 super chat, says, please wear the Howdy Doody mask. You mean Linda Moulton Howdy Doody Fresh and Fruity? Yes. Next week, Linda Moulton Howdy Doody is going to guest host and respond to me saying that what she did was wrong. We will do that, right? Spooky says, buy the real image copyright from Philippe. Checkmate Linda. Yeah, we could then copyright claim her for using our image without permission, right? Oh, that's a great idea. I'm going to contact him. We'll get on that, Spooky. That's a Lion's Ground type move. You know, look up that story with what happened with Lion's Ground and Secure Team 10. He somehow, he almost got Secure Team 10 destroyed their channel because Secure Team 10 was using an image of some Asian person without permission. So what else can I tell you, friends? We are continuing in this long and winding road in this journey to truth. And unfortunately, I spend a great deal of my time here not finding truth, but finding lies, deception, and manipulation. But I think it's just as important to reveal that stuff as it is to show you, other things. Lord Ludicrous with kind and generous 1999 says, use this towards what you want to pay Spooky. The show rocks and there are never issues when Spooky is around. I got to agree with you. And yeah, I'm going to send her that just to cover the super chats that she sent. Yeah. Spooky says super chat so Spooky can buy food and not die. Hey, that could be, deceptive practices, Spooky. She needs the money. Honestly, we all need the money. It's rough out there, brother. Can you spare $1? That's why I'm begging for money on the internet, right? The truth is that when I started my company, it was supposed to be a technology/media company. But due to the pandemic, the technology part of it kind of went away and we became mostly a media company. And we do have some announcements to make about the future of my company that you're going to want to hear. But I'm going to get into that next week. I mentioned I'm supposed to be at the cabin right now and it's 100 degrees in here. So I'm going to bounce on out of here. But before I go, there's a few final thoughts I have, and that is that Linda Moulton Howe should not morally, ethically, or legally be allowed to keep the money that she just generated through these deceptive means. I don't believe that's fair. And I'm not her judge. I'm not a law enforcement officer, and I can't force her to give the money to the artist whose work she used to deceptively generate that income for herself. I can't force her to do that. I can say that I think it's a good idea that she gives that artist the money since she didn't get permission to use his images and generated thousands of dollars by using his images. I think she should give him the money or give it to a cat charity. I hear she likes cats, right? Give it to a charity, Linda. It would be very bad. In my opinion, it would be terrible for her karmically to keep these ill-gotten gains. And while you're at it, why don't you give all the people back the money for that Area 51 fake alien photo that you generated all that money from deceptively, right? Because, and by the way, we had somebody, Linda, in our live chat that says, essentially, you took one of his CGI images in 2007. And I hope that we're going to hear more from that person. And friends and audience, we're going to bring you that story as well. So should Linda Moulton Howe be allowed to keep this money that she generated using an artist's image that she had no right or permission to use? Should she be able to keep the money since she essentially provided people with false information, claiming this was a real picture of an alien, when we all know now very, very clearly that that image was created by an artist? It's an artist's rendition of an alien. It's not real, Linda. I don't believe that she should be able to keep that money. And I don't believe that it would be in Linda's best interest if YouTube got wind of how she's generating these views and clicks on her videos. It's deceptive. It's against the terms of service. You can't do that, Linda, but you did, But again, I'm learning in my newfound sobriety, by the way, I haven't had a drink in 42 days, that I have to accept the things I can't change. And I'm going to do that. My hope, and this is a genuine, heartfelt truth, my hope for Linda is that she gets back to good work that she did back when she started. That alien harvest thing she did was excellent, excellent work. Well researched, well documented, well sourced, great interviews, good all around execution. Somewhere along the line, Linda Moulton Howe lost her passion for doing good work. I mean, it's human nature to be lazy. If you figured out you didn't have to work 60 hours a week to generate money, you could just come up with, fake anonymous sources telling you fairy tales and repeat them to make the same amount of money and not actually work, right? I guess it would be human nature that some people would simply take the lazy road. And that, more than anything, is what I think is happening here. It's either, there's only two possibilities here, friends. Three. Either she's so incompetent that she doesn't do the work because she just doesn't know how to do this work properly in the modern age of the internet. Maybe. I mean, the woman is, what is she, 80? She's like my grandmother, My grandmom can't work the internet either. My grandmom has since passed on, but I'm sure my grandmom, she couldn't work the microwave when it turned digital. I'm pretty sure she wouldn't have been able to work the internet. So the three possibilities: she's incompetent, but that still doesn't excuse what she's doing. The second possibility is that she's lazy. There's no excuse for laziness to me. And I tend to be very harsh on people, and I apologize for that. I'm learning to be kinder and gentler through my newfound sobriety here. I'm definitely a less angry, judgmental, vindictive kind of a man because I'm not always hungover anymore. And that gives you a lot more clarity. So if she's lazy, I can't forgive that. You've done this multiple times now. Now we're hearing from somebody in the live chat that you may have done this in 2007 as well. Taken CGI artwork and claimed it was real alien evidence. I can't excuse the laziness. She should give the money back if she generated this because she was just too lazy. If this all happened just because she was too lazy, fine. But she's got to own up to that fact, and she's got to accept responsibility for this. And the final and worst possibility that I can envision here is that she knowingly and willingly did this on purpose to generate money for herself. And to me, if that is truly the case here, that's inexcusable as well. No matter how this happened, it's her fault. It's her fault that people gave her super chats for completely and totally fake, made-up evidence. It's her fault that YouTube is going to be paying her ad revenue for media she produced that was all based on inaccurate information, 100% fake evidence that she used to sell and push that story. Linda Moulton Howe should not get to just simply keep this money. And I'm going to say the same thing I said the last time that we caught her doing this. She should have consequences. Now, again, try not to be too judgmental. I'm not saying what those consequences should be. Ideally, at the very least, she should own up to her mistake. She should apologize and give all of the money back to the people that gave her money for this level of garbage fairy tale Mother Goose stories that are not based on fact or reality, but rather based on fake anonymous sources that no one else is allowed to interview, and an artist rendering of an image that she's going to claim is a real alien. I just don't think that she should be able to keep the money. She should have to give it back. And if she does not give it back or give it to charity or make some statement about this, that speaks more about her character than anything. Now, there are some people who have argued in the past. Some people argue the bullhorn argument. Like, well, Linda Moulton Howe's getting 70,000 views. and you're only getting a few thousand. So that must mean more people agree with her. I don't care what people agree with. Fake evidence is fake evidence. Pushing fake evidence at an audience and then collecting super chats based on that fake evidence is wrong. And that's all I got for you, friends. But what I'm going to say, too, is that along with my newfound sobriety of late has been a reconnection with God and Source. And I was never a big prayer, but lately I've been praying more. And what I will say is that when I was very, very young, one of the first people that I noticed on television and, doing this work was Linda. And I hung on her every word. And maybe, just maybe, that part of me is angry over this because I feel betrayed and let down by somebody that I thought was better than this. And whether I was fooled or whether she just got lazy as time went on or whatever the case, I think she owes everybody an explanation. And I mean a real explanation, not the Men in Black time travel back to 2007 to discredit her story in 2022, or not that the government paid off that artist to pretend that he generated that image. He clearly generated the image. We can verify that that image was put on his website and on the internet in 2007, 2008 time frame. So I hope that she accepts responsibility. And my prayer for Linda is going to be that she gets back to the way she was when she started, right? Doing work that was worthy of accolades, awards, and respect. This work that she's done lately is only worthy of mockery and disgust. But I'm going to pray for her. And I'm going to pray for all of you. And I hope you pray for me too. So that's all I got for you, friends. Until next time, my name is Stephen Cambion. Good night, and God bless all of you, especially you, Linda, and all of the victims that you took money from pushing this fake story. Good night, friends.